everyone, I am Pragya Yadav and I work for testRigor. It is an intelligent generative AI-powered codeless test automation tool that lets you write test cases in plain English or any other natural language. I welcome to our channel. In this video, we will review the 21 most frequently asked Quality Assurance Manager interview questions. We will give you tips and example answers as well. This video will certainly help you succeed in your next interview. Let's get started. So the first question that you might encounter would be, can you tell us about your experience in software quality assurance? Here the interview wants to know your experience in the field, your key responsibilities and accomplishments, and also few examples of successful projects that you have led. An example answer would be, I have been working in software testing industry for the past 7 years. I have good experience in leading QA teams, developing and implementing testing strategies and plans. I was also responsible to create a testing process to ensure successful delivery of multiple software products to our banking domain customer. I have good experience in end-to-end ETL and performance testing. Here you can also mention the tools that you have used in your job, such as Selenium and testNG. The next question that you might expect is, how do you approach testing a new software product? Here, the interviewer wants to know about your process for testing new software, importance of understanding requirements, collaboration with development team, and communication with stakeholders. So, an example answer would be, when testing a new software product, I first review the requirements and design documentation to clearly understand what the product should do and how it should behave. I then work with the team and BAs to develop a comprehensive test plan that covers all functional and non-functional requirements. I prioritize and allocate resources to ensure we have the right mix of automated and manual testing and sufficient coverage of all critical functions. I regularly communicate with the development team and stakeholders throughout the testing process to keep everyone informed and identify potential risks or issues. The next question in the list is, how do you ensure that your QA team is providing effective testing coverage? Here, the interviewer wants to see the steps you take to oversee and support your QA team members, such as reviews, training, and test management tools. So, an example answer would be, I make sure that my QA team provides sufficient testing coverage. I do so by regularly conducting reviews, holding training sessions to keep their skills up to date, and by using test management tools to track test coverage. This helps to identify areas which need additional testing. I also provide regular feedback to team members on their performance and encourage collaboration and teamwork to ensure that everyone works together effectively. Here is the fourth question. Can you describe your experience with test automation and how you approach incorporating automation into your testing processes? Here, the interviewer wants to know about your expertise with test automation, its benefits, and how do you evaluate when to use automation. An example answer would be, I have been working with test automation for several years and have a strong understanding of the benefits it can bring to the testing process. It includes increased efficiency, better test coverage, and faster feedback to the development team. When incorporating automation into my testing processes, I first evaluate the feasibility of automation for each test case, considering factors such as test complexity, frequency of use, and maintenance cost. I then prioritize and allocate resources for automation based on these evaluations. Regular review and updates to the automation framework is a must. Since this position is for a senior position, you can expect questions related to team management. So one question could be, how do you handle conflicts between the development team and the QA team? Here, the interviewer wants to know about your experience mediating conflicts, your approach to promoting open communication, and finding mutually beneficial solutions. So, an example answer would be, when conflicts arise between the development team and the QA team, I first listen to both sides to understand the root cause of the conflict. I then have a meeting between the two teams to discuss the issue and identify a resolution that meets the needs of both teams. I encourage open communication and regularly schedule meetings to discuss any issues or concerns that may arise. The end result is that teams work together effectively and that conflicts are resolved promptly and constructively. Here is the sixth question. It is also related to team management. It is, how do you manage your QA team's workload and prioritize tasks? Here, the interviewer wants to evaluate your method for prioritizing tasks and balancing your QA team's workload. It includes using project management tools and risk assessment. An example answer is, I manage my QA team's workload using project management tools and risk assessment. I prioritize tasks based on their impact on project timeline and the potential risk associated with not completing them on time. I also work closely with the development team to ensure that we clearly understand the project schedule and that our testing efforts are aligned with project milestones. To balance my team's workload, I regularly reassess our priorities and allocate resources as needed to ensure everyone is working on the most critical tasks. Here is a tough one, which evaluates your decision-making abilities. The question is, can you discuss a time when you made a difficult decision as a QA manager? Here, an interview wants to know a specific situation when you had to make a difficult decision, focusing on the steps you took to evaluate the situation, your decision, and the outcome. An example answer is, one of the most challenging decisions I had to make as a QA manager was when I faced a critical software bug found late in the development cycle. The bug could significantly impact the project timeline and budget. After carefully evaluating the situation and considering all options, I decided to delay the project's release to allow the development team to fix the bug. While this decision was unpopular, it was necessary to ensure the project's quality and stability. In the end, the product was successfully released and received positive customer feedback. The next question is, how do you stay current with industry trends and new technologies in software testing? Here, the interviewer wants to see your commitment to staying informed about industry trends and new technologies, including attending conferences, reading industry publications, and participating in online communities. An example answer is, I stay current with industry trends and new technologies in software quality assurance by attending conferences and workshops, reading industry publications and blogs, and participating in online communities such as LinkedIn groups and forums. I also attend regular training sessions to keep my skills up to date and seek out new tools and techniques that can help me improve my testing processes and better serve my team and my organization. Here is a project-specific question. Can you tell us about a successful project you led as a QA manager? Here, the interviewer wants to know about a specific project you led as a QA manager, focusing on your key responsibilities, the challenges you faced, and the successful outcome of the project. An example answer is, as a QA manager, one of the most successful projects I led was the development of a new e-commerce platform. I was responsible for leading the QA team and ensuring that the platform met all quality standards and requirements. One of the biggest challenges we faced was managing a large volume of testing data and ensuring that our testing process was efficient and effective. To address these challenges, I implemented a comprehensive test data management strategy. In addition, I used an automation testing framework to perform data-driven testing more quickly and efficiently. The 10th question is also about team management. It is, how do you motivate your QA team and encourage their professional growth? Here, the interviewer wants to see your approach to motivating your team, including providing regular feedback, setting achievable goals, and encouraging team members to take on new challenges. An example answer is, I motivate my QA team by providing regular feedback, setting achievable goals, and encouraging them to take on new challenges. I believe in fostering a supportive and collaborative environment where team members feel valued and are motivated to improve their skills and knowledge continuously. To encourage professional growth, I provide opportunities for team members to attend conferences, take online courses, and participate in new projects. I also hold regular one-on-one meetings to discuss career aspirations and provide guidance and support to help team members reach their goals. The next question in the list is, how do you handle pressure and tight deadlines as a QA manager? Here, the interviewer wants to evaluate your ability to manage stress and maintain a positive attitude under pressure. Also, time management skills and delegating tasks as needed. An example answer is, I handle pressure and tight deadlines as a QA manager by staying organized, prioritizing tasks, and delegating responsibilities as needed. I also use various time management techniques such as creating to-do lists and breaking down large projects into smaller tasks to ensure that I am making progress and meeting deadlines. I believe in staying positive and communicating effectively with my team, even under the most challenging circumstances. The next question evaluates your conflict management abilities. It is, how do you handle conflicting priorities in your role as a QA manager? Here, the interviewer wants to know about your approach to resolving conflicting priorities, including effective communication, risk assessment, and stakeholder engagement. An example answer is, I handle conflicting priorities as QA manager by engaging in effective communication, conducting risk assessment, and collaborating with stakeholders to find mutually beneficial solutions. I believe in being transparent and honest about the situation and working closely with all parties. I also consider the potential impact of each priority on the project timeline and budget, and then make decisions that align with the overall goals and objectives of the project. The next question in the list is, can you discuss a situation where you had to deal with a difficult team member as a QA manager? Here, the interviewer wants to know about a specific situation where you had to manage a difficult team member, focusing on the steps you took to address the issue and resolve the situation. Here is an example answer. One of the most challenging situations I faced as a QA manager was when I had to deal with a team member who was not meeting expectation and was causing friction within the team. I addressed the issue by having a private conversation with the team member and discussing the concerns and expectation in constructive and solution-focused manner. I also provided support and coaching to help the team member improve their performance and set clear and achievable goals for the future. In the end, the situation was resolved and the team member became a valuable contributor. Here is question 40. Can you discuss a situation where you had to make a trade-off between quality and time? Here, discuss a specific situation focusing on the factors that influenced your decision and the outcome. An example answer is, one specific situation was when I was working on a project with a tight deadline and my team encountered a high priority issue that threatened to delay the release. After carefully assessing the situation, I decided to prioritize the fix and allocate additional resources to the issue, even though it would mean sacrificing some time and resources from other areas. I communicated the decision and the reasonings behind it to the stakeholders, and the project was able to continue on schedule with the highest level of quality. The project was delivered on time, and stakeholders received the fix well. The next question is about testing processes. It is, how do you ensure that team follows the defined testing processes and procedures? Here, the interviewer wants to see your approach to monitoring and enforcing adherence to defined processes and procedures for testing, including regular audits and training. An example answer is, I ensure that my team follows the defined testing processes and procedures by conducting regular audits, providing them training, and encouraging open communication. I also make sure that all team members have access to the most current processes and procedures and know the importance of following them. I believe in creating a quality and continuous improvement culture, and I work closely with my team to identify improvement areas and implement best practices and standards. Question 16 is, can you discuss when you had to manage and prioritize multiple projects? Here, the interviewer wants to evaluate a specific situation where you had to manage multiple projects, focusing on the steps you took to prioritize and allocate resources, and to make sure that all projects were delivered on time and within budget. An example answer is, one of the most challenging situations I faced as a QA manager was managing and prioritizing multiple projects at once. I used a combination of project management tools, including Gantt charts and project schedule, to prioritize tasks and allocate resources. I also held regular meetings with the project teams to review progress and make adjustments as needed. By keeping a close eye on timelines and budgets, being flexible and proactive in addressing potential roadblocks, I successfully delivered all projects on time and that too within budget. Here is another question on conflict management. That is, how do you handle conflicts with stakeholders or team members during a project? Here, show your approach to resolving conflicts, including active listening, clear communication, and finding common ground. An example answer is, when conflicts arise during a project, I handle them by first actively listening to all parties involved to understand their perspectives and concerns. Then I communicate my perspective and find common ground by highlighting shared goals and priorities. I also work to identify potential solutions that meet the needs of all parties involved. By being open, honest, and solution-focused, I have effectively resolved conflicts and maintained positive relationships with stakeholders and team members. Let's review question 18. When did you have to implement a new process or tool in your team? Here, let the interviewer know a specific situation where you had to implement a new process or tool, focusing on the steps you took to gain buy-in from the team, provide training, and ensure a smooth transition. An example answer is, I had to implement a new process for automated testing in my team, which was a significant change from our traditional manual testing approach. To ensure a smooth transition, I told them the benefits of the new process and provided training to the team. I also held regular meetings with the team to address concerns and ensure everyone was comfortable with the new process. By being transparent and supportive, I successfully implemented the new process and tool, which ultimately resulted in increased efficiency and quality in our testing efforts. Here is the next question. How do you evaluate the performance of your team and individual team members? Here, show your approach to evaluating performance, including setting clear expectations, regularly reviewing progress, and providing feedback and coaching. Here is an example answer. I evaluate the performance of my team and individual team members by setting clear expectations and regularly reviewing progress against established goals and objectives. I also provide regular feedback and coaching to help team members grow and improve. I use a combination of quantitative and qualitative metrics to measure performance. I believe in creating a positive and supportive work environment that encourages growth and development. And I work closely with my team to identify areas for improvement and set achievable goals. Let's review question 20. Can you discuss a time when you had to make a recommendation to senior management regarding a QA issue? Here, tell a specific situation where you had to make a recommendation to senior management, focusing on the steps you took to gather information, assess the situation, and communicate your recommendation. An example answer is, I had to make a recommendation to senior management regarding a QA issue affecting the delivery of a project. I gathered all the relevant information, including the project timeline and budget impact. I assessed the situation with the development team, and after careful consideration, I requested allocating additional resources to resolve the issue, which was ultimately approved by the senior management. Here is the last question. Can you discuss a time when you had to make a change to your QA approach mid-project? Here, show a specific situation where you had to change your QA approach, focusing on the reasons for the change, the steps you took, and the outcome of the change. An example answer is, I had to change my QA approach mid-project due to the new requirements that the client introduced. I carefully assessed the impact of the change on the project timeline and budget. I worked closely with my team to implement the change promptly and efficiently. The outcome of the change was a more comprehensive and effective QA process, which ultimately resulted in successful project delivery. We are done with all the questions I wanted to review with you. As we discussed at the start of the video, testRigor can get you even more successful within your job because you can write test cases in plain English and there is almost no maintenance. So you will be a rock star in your team. testRigor lets you automate complex testing scenarios such as two-factor authorization, captcha resolution, SMS, phone call, email, file, visual testing, audio, video, database, QR code, and many more using just plain English. And here is the good news. testRigor offers the AI-driven test automation engineer certification for free. Go get your certificate today.